You have some people who actually inspire and make a difference to sport, to our lives, to society. Abhinav has been doing that for a good 20 years plus now. And when you hear that he's the one who will run with the torch, he's the one who's just run with the torch yesterday, and you see these visuals, you feel proud as an Indian. So I want to ask him about that. And yes, the Olympic order, it's not been formally announced by the IOC, so we will ask him more about that come the 10th of August. But the Prime Minister has already tweeted, so one question is mandatory. But first, let me start with the torch relay. Great visuals when you were running with the torch. Tell me how it is like. I mean, the Olympic torch is sacred.
Well, it was an incredible moment. I mean, I firstly did not expect so many people to be lined up. I was on the route with many other torch bearers, and I think we saw thousands and thousands of people, of all ages, kids, older people, with so much enthusiasm. And that just reminded me what the Olympic Games are all about. The Olympic Games are the greatest event in the world. There is no other event in the world which unifies like the Olympic Games. And the Olympic torch carries that spirit, carries that message. And it was an incredible honor to be able to run with the torch here in Paris. I've never had the opportunity to do that. I was one of the nominated torch bearers for the Beijing Winter Games, but I was unfortunately never able to make it to Beijing. I have run with the torch once before, which was, again, the Beijing torch relay, which happened in Delhi, but there were no crowds allowed that time because of the political situation with Tibet and things like that. But it was frankly an incredible moment. There was a long wait. It was 3-4 hours. The whole process was. I ran only 200 meters, but it was definitely worth the wait. And it was an incredible moment of my life.
70-year-old Abhinav Bindra in Sydney to 2024 carrying the Olympic torch and being awarded the Olympic order. I'll come to the Olympic order later. But this journey, fantastic, fulfilled?
Of course. I mean, the Olympic Games as a boy was my life's mission. Huh? I mean, as a young boy, I dreamt of winning a gold medal at the Olympic Games, toiled hard for it, eventually won a gold medal. But the Olympic journey taught me so many things and taught me, which transcends sport, really. I look back at the journey, not at that gold medal that I won. I know you would box me just in that win, box me like that of that being an Olympic champion. But the journey was about so much more. It taught me so many things, instilling Olympic values, friendship, respect, and excellence. Of having integrity, of inclusivity, of just being true to yourself and being true to these great values. Has been something which has been incredible in my life. And whatever I do in life, the Olympic movement, the Olympic values will always remain at the forefront of whatever I do. And it has been a great journey. And the journey doesn't stop, it just stops. I know you've talked about the award, and this award simply fuels my passion to work harder for sport, to work harder to leverage sport to larger society, and to do the best that I can in whatever opportunity that I have to contribute, and I will continue to contribute in whatever way I can.
Just give me a sense. I mean, when you were running with the torch, and I've sort of attended a few torch relays. 2012, Sir Roger Bannister, he actually brought me close in Oxford and said, "Hold my hand," and it was sort of my moment when Mr. Bachchan ran with the torch at the St. Paul's, and we did an interview soon after. It meant the world to him. So, just can you tell our viewers when you were actually running? I mean, in that moment, what was it like? I mean, both sides. I was seeing visuals of kids and crowds, like you mentioned. Give me a sense of that moment.
It was absolutely incredible. So many young kids lined up, cheering and cheering. When the bus was actually going, where we were all in the bus, kilometer after kilometer, young kids waving out. And of course, when the torch relay actually happened, the enthusiasm of the people was absolutely incredible. And for me personally, it was a great privilege and a great honor to have that opportunity to run with this sacred torch and this sacred flame, which captures this Olympic spirit, which is so dear to me.
One question on the order, because the Prime Minister has tweeted, I know it's not publicly announced, but again, youngest athlete generally the state, ambassadors and political personalities and heads of state kind of people get it. In India, you're again the youngest athlete to ever get it. How important? It's the highest IOC honor. I mean, it's a recognition for what you've done, what you stand for.
Well, of course, I'm deeply touched, deeply moved, deeply humbled to receive it, and frankly, it fuels my passion more to work harder for the Olympics, for the Olympic movement, and then I will continue to do that. And it's been very humbling.
When I talk about your work and your Olympic journey, it's kind of staggering. I mean, to think that an Indian athlete can now come and do all of what you are doing. The vision to make change with children, with OVEP, with fitness, with making a difference to society. You are no longer just an athlete. You're an institution unto yourself, making change, and that too you are not seeking limelight.
Yeah, limelight definitely not. It's just
I know.
Sometimes I'm not just an isolated case where I'm making a contribution. There are many athletes around the world which do incredible amount of work, which transcends sport. They use their persona and the status that they've earned being an athlete to contribute to society. I think what society doesn't do well enough, and what perhaps the media doesn't do well enough, or what the media actually does, is they just simply think that we have only one hat to wear, and that one hat to wear is our exploits on the field of play. But like all of us, like all of you, we have many roles to play in society, and then we continue to change, we continue to do different things, and I think athletes have a great opportunity to do many good things, and I'm just doing my best with a clear heart to make a humble contribution to people back home.
Expectations from Paris? Last couple of questions.
I think I'm excited about our prospects. I think we will have a good games. I think sport in India is going up. I mean, we're at a historic high in terms of how many young Indians actually play sport or consume sport. It's a good time for sport. Support to elite athletes is fantastic. The government has done an incredible amount of work. There has been corporate backing which has been coming in as well for athletes. So, athletes have got whatever they needed to prepare. They had the best possible. Statement. They had the best possible support that they could get, frankly. And now is their opportunity to go out there and be the best that they can be. It's an opportunity of a lifetime, and I think they're as well prepared as they possibly can be. I do believe that we will have the best ever medal haul that we've ever had. 7 in Tokyo was our best. I think we will surpass that.
And globally, first time post-COVID, the world comes together in celebrating.
It's absolutely incredible, Boria. Have you felt it already? Yes. It's wonderful. I mean, it's the first global event after COVID where the world is actually uniting in these divided times that we live in. The Olympic Games is really the only event left which unites people. 206 national Olympic committees, 1 Olympic refugee team, living in the sacred Olympic village where it's just incredible to be there. I was there just a couple of days ago on the joint tour with the executive board, and it was absolutely wonderful to see all these athletes come together and compete fiercely, but with Olympic values, with friendship and respect, and all living together in a peaceful way. It sends such an inspiring message to the difficult times we live in across the world.
Fantastic interview, and we've got to celebrate Abhinav Bindra. Absolutely, I mean, one in a generation. Somebody who's continued to inspire me for all my career in sport. So keep doing that. Many congratulations once again.
Thank you so much. Thank you.